attaching yourself to Torah as a non-Jew is a heavy commitment by itself, because you're coming out of one theology, you know what I mean? And so your mindset, you're probably in a Western mindset, so you got to learn to think in an Eastern mindset. A lot of psychology in it, because the way you were raised and how you were
Mhm.
taught, you know what I mean? Even the names, and then if you learn a little bit of Hebrew, understand the terminology. But first out of all of that, before you can even feel comfortable doing that, you have to realize that you're going to be outside of your family and friends. Everybody, if you're leaving idolatry, you got to leave it. You can't, well, I'm going to keep this, and I'm still want to do Christmas, even though I'm not going to, do a tree and everything, but I'm going to go over and go to these parties and everything. It's in a difficult place to be. So you have all these
Mhm.
obstacles to begin with, and then if you get through those, then you get to the debate about, in other words, you made it that far. You gave up Christmas. You probably, don't talk to some friends anymore. You could even fracture the family up because of, your beliefs. Or you could split a whole church up, when you left, if you were a leader, because you're like, I don't see this anymore. I don't see God in this, and all this. And then you make it through all of that. And then you get there. Well, we can't teach you Torah because you're liable to death, because it says it right here in, the Mishnah.
Yeah,
So we're
you're
not
gonna
going to
have a
teach you.
spiritual death. It's
Yeah,
God's gonna kill you.
and then you're like, wait a minute, I came all this way, and you're going to close the door. Now I made it through all of this. You know what I mean? And you're going to close the door and say, well, should have stayed a Christian, bud. I don't know what to tell you. You can learn anything you want to over there. It don't make any sense. You know what I mean? It don't. And I understand people's frustration.
Yeah,
I understand the frustration from the Jewish community, and I definitely understand the frustration from the Gentile community, the non-Jewish community that want to
yeah.
study Torah. You know.
One of the things, if we look at this book right here, I think y'all can see that book pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It was written, I think, back in '87, something like this. I know the Rebbe was still alive, and so it was written by Chaim Chlorfine and Yaakov Rogowski.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was told a story by Chaim Chlorfine that uh, Yaakov Rogowski wrote the book with him, and he was talking with the Rebbe, and he asked the Rebbe, like, well, what do I do now? What do I do now that I wrote this book for the righteous Gentile? And you'll notice they didn't call it Noahide back
Yeah,
then.
the righteous Gentile.
And so um, the Rebbe told him to stay away from the organizations. Okay, and because it is the organizations that have, I believe, that have corrupted the thinking and the purity of the non-Jew coming to Torah and coming to learn their place in Torah, because obviously they want to commercialize it. They want to install members and have you
Hierarchy,
know a hierarchy and establish a hierarchy and all these different things.
control,
So I
dominance, ego.
control.
That's what exists
Mm,
within. And that's
yeah,
sad. It's sad, but it's true. You would think community would mean something else besides, hierarchy, but you see it every
how it
day. Yeah,
evolves.
yeah,
It's how it evolves. I've watched some of it, develop, and the exact same things were coming up. You want somebody wants to be the leader, and somebody wants to have a following, and then somebody wants to make a profit, and then somebody wants all these different things. And uh, so it contaminated it, because why? They didn't follow this wisdom of staying away from the organizations.